Genghis Khan, the slave who became the most powerful conqueror in history. He was born into nothing, abandoned as a child, and enslaved by his enemies. Yet within a few decades, he built the largest empire the world has ever seen. His armies wiped entire cities off the map, and his name became a symbol of unstoppable power. How did a boy from the Mongolian steppes rise to become history's greatest conqueror? Genghis Khan, originally named Temujin, was born around 1162 in the harsh Mongolian wilderness. His father, a tribal leader, was poisoned by enemies when Temujin was still a child. His family was abandoned by their own people and left to starve in the unforgiving landscape. Struggling to survive, Temujin learned to hunt, fight, and adapt. At one point, he was captured and enslaved by a rival tribe, forced to live in chains, but he never lost his will to fight. Through sheer determination, intelligence, and brutality, he escaped. He gathered followers and vowed to unite the warring Mongol tribes. For centuries, the Mongols had been divided, constantly raiding and killing each other. Temujin did the impossible. He brought them together. By 1206, he was crowned Genghis Khan, universal ruler of all Mongols. But he wasn't satisfied with ruling Mongolia. He wanted the world. Genghis Khan's army was unlike anything the world had ever seen. His warriors could ride over 100 miles a day, attack from any direction, and vanish before their enemies could react. He used psychological warfare, spies, and total destruction to ensure that resistance was met with annihilation. If a city surrendered, it was spared. If it resisted, it was wiped off the map. His first major conquest was China, where he obliterated the powerful Jin dynasty in the north. Then, in 1219, he turned west to the Khwarezmian Empire, covering Persia, Central Asia, and Afghanistan. The Shah of Khwarezm made the fatal mistake of insulting Genghis Khan by executing his envoys. The response? Total war. Mongol forces razed entire cities, executed rulers, and left nothing behind. Samarkand, Bukhara, and Nishapur were all burned to the ground. Survivors were used as human shields in future battles. By 1221, the once great Khwarezmian Empire was completely erased from history. But Genghis Khan didn't stop there. His conquests continued into Russia, Eastern Europe, and the Middle East. He and his generals developed siege warfare, biological warfare, and some of the most advanced battle strategies of the time. No army, no city, no empire was safe. By the time of his death in 1227, his empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the Caspian Sea, covering more land than any ruler before or since. But his influence didn't end there. His descendants expanded the empire even further, creating the largest continuous land empire in history. Trade flourished under Mongol rule, connecting the East and West through the Silk Road. Many of the modern world's borders, cultures, and even genes trace back to his empire. Genghis Khan was more than a conqueror. He was a force of nature, a man who shaped history with fire and blood. How did an abandoned child rise to rule the world? And how did his empire change history forever?